Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? This is my co-host Errol, who is just being a nuisance today. Sending you all the love as we report live and direct, family, from 7D reality. I told you we've passed 5D. We've passed 5D at this point. Special shout out to all our supporters, to our Patreon family. We appreciate, love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting us on that platform, and to everyone who sends us love donations. We appreciate, love you so much, family. We are very grateful for you. And you know, there's this movie that's come out about child trafficking called Sound of Freedom. So many of you have emailed me telling me to go watch the movie or to make a show on the movie, to comment about the movie, and I would absolutely love to hear your comments in the movie. I think it took several years, maybe something like 7 years or some crazy thing like that, since the movie was done for them to actually release it. It's like Hollywood was trying to block this narrative by any means necessary. And they also said, you know, there's a lot of theaters in the divided states that have been playing dirty with the premiering of the show, turning on off the AC, and it's super hot in the divided states right now, just doing all kinds of things to make people not get the message, to make the narrative not go out. But it's out, and it's very funny to me that they used a sound of freedom, just even those words, sound of freedom. I mean, whenever I hear the word sound of freedom, I think of Bob Marley, family. Whenever I hear about Sound of Freedom, I usually think of Bob Marley's song. And the fact that they tried to stop this narrative from coming to the surface, but it had to, after 7 years. It's funny that it came on this year, 2023. It had to come. I don't even know if it's being shown internationally, if it's being shown in Kenya. And I'm not going to be able to, you know, really watch it, family, because, you know, Kenya is part of, this is all I'll say, Kenya is part of the British realm. And a lot of us who went to these British system schools are recognizing that we were part of some pedophile or pornographic, or, I mean, not really child trafficking, but things happened in those boarding schools. We had a boarding school here called St. Andrews, which is one of the most elite, but things happened in St. Andrews. Things happened in, you know, all these elitist schools. And for us who are psychics and who are mediums, these are the things that are now bubbling to the surface about some of the similar crimes to the ones shown in Sound of Freedom. And it's a very intense time to be psychic, family. Very intense. I remember there's a friend of mine who was emailing me about how when her gifts like went up a gear, she started being given visions of where women, young women and children were being trapped within Nairobi in some of the poshest neighborhoods. We actually have a neighborhood called Karen. Karen was one of those neighborhoods. I've talked about that neighborhood before. Cloning centers, etc., stories for the days. And she would get the exact address, and she'd even see the dungeons that these children and young women were being kept in, but it was just psychic. And she felt like she was losing her freaking mind because she'd see the women so clearly, and she was like, I can drive you there. I can take an Uber to go there. These women need to be rescued. And for me, for this video, for this movie to get out, The Sound of Freedom, it's confirmation yet again that Babylon has collapsed. That's how I took it when I saw it. I don't need to watch the movie. I already feel like psychically, I already know the kind of things that have happened. Especially if we've been the ones of us who have been called the conspiracy theorists of this world. We've known about this for almost some decades even. But it shows me that the deepest, darkest secrets of Babylon are now being exposed. And that points to the fact that the narrative and the movie, the horror movie of Babylon, is close to coming to an end. And the funny thing is, for this narrative to come out, is there's been so much that's been happening around the world, family, to rescue the children. There's so much that was happening. I don't know if you guys followed the I don't even want to say the Q movement or whatever, because there's been so much battle for the narrative of the children. And many of us know that the only reason the mother goddess even came back and even looked down to earth is because of the children. Because so many cosmic children are trapped here right now, and they must be saved. It's all about the children. And instead of enabling the children, the truly magical children that are here, the ancient of days that have returned, the ancient ones, the gods, the goddesses, the architects, the master builders, the master healers, the master messengers, the master restorers, they instead found a way to harvest that cosmic energy from the cosmic children. And that is actually why there's even a spiritual intervention on this proportion, family, on the highest level. Because every cosmos has been touched by this. So many chosen ones, family, were used and abused and raped. They even celebrate the murder of one of the master builders. I don't even want to talk about Yeshua, family, because, I've gone so deep into that story. But they've totally, family, they've totally tried to do everything to harvest the essence, the innocence, the power of the cosmic children. And that's why there's a cosmic and galactic and celestial intervention on Mama Earth right now. And that's why we need to get ourselves and our house in order, because it's above our pay grade, if we could say that. It's above us now, family. Judgment has been declared on this realm. And there is a certain side of humanity and of this, the matrix must be destroyed, has been destroyed spiritually. The matrix has been decimated spiritually. And that's why it's literally crumbling physically. But we must come out of her, so that by the time, because a lot of us have already made the leap spiritually, but a lot of us are still here wasting time physically. And the only reason we're still surviving is because of that physical tether that we have. Because by the time the mother goddess planet is hitting that new reality, that new book of life is fully hitting 3D, you had better have gotten yourself out of Babylon by any means necessary. And I know the sunshine is the sun is setting where I am, family, so I don't know if you can see me clearly, but I hope you can hear me clearly. That is why we're getting ourselves in order. Even us, as the ancient reincarnates, as the chosen ones who have been misused, used, and abused, as the gods and goddesses who are supposed to write a new story, there are those who are even above us who have now intervened. And we, as the messiahs, as the messengers, as the masters of this and that, as the gurus, as the teachers, even we now have to make our healing our priority. Because there's no mercy being shown on this. Anything that is rotten must be destroyed. But you have the opportunity to heal it before it destroys you, family. And that's why your healing of any imbalance, of hatred, of jealousy, of envy, all these misaligned thoughts, you have to Purge them from your system consistently, family, because the time is fast approaching. And this is one of those signs, family. This movie, The Sound of Freedom, this is one of their deepest, darkest secrets. I don't think it even goes deeper and darker than adrenochrome, family. And this tells me that we have little time left before Babylon is totally brought down. And that time should be spent on healing and restoring yourself and building the best life for yourself, so that you've already made a head start when heaven on earth starts to actually literally materialize. And it's already materializing in so many ways, family. I'll totally do a separate show on that. The sound of freedom. I think it's also a testimony that the truth can never be hidden forever. Everything that is in the darkness must come to light, and we are in that season when it is being brought to light. So don't take that for granted. Do what you need to do to get your mind out of the matrix, to heal thyself and to set thyself free, because no one can do that for you. But we have such a massive spiritual team, angels, ancestors, gods, goddesses, mothers, fathers on the spiritual realm who are just here to help to make sure that you make it. So take your healing and your restoration extremely seriously right now, family. And for those who, this has been another trigger. This has been another awakening. And for those who the sound of freedom has awakened them, welcome to your awakening journey. This is just the beginning. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say about Sounds of Freedom, family. Leave it in the comments below. Until next time, tuko pamoja.